Hello and welcome to the Success with Savitha podcast, where we share hot tips on how to do life and business without losing your mind. I'm your host, Savitha Nanjappa, entrepreneur, high-achieving 9-to-5er turned transformational success coach, helping you create a wildly successful business. Come hang out with me and other fabulous humans like you every week for stories and chats packed with a healthy dose of tips, resources, how-tos, and real talk. Side effects may include a happier and more confident you with each passing day. Hi, and welcome back to another solo episode with me. And in today's episode, I'm going to talk to you about my recent trip that I took to Rajasthan. I know I'm doing a lot about my trips, but I learned so much. Travel is education for me, and travel always teaches me something that sometimes the routine and the comfort zone of your own home and your daily life doesn't. And for someone like me who's obsessed with travel, there's always so much to take in, so much to learn, so much to observe, so much to savor, so much to enjoy during my travel. So on that note, I want to talk to you about my first trip to Rajasthan. Imagine I haven't been to Rajasthan all these years. And now I think very alchemist style, I travel all over the world to find that the beauty is right here in my country, in my backyard. This March, I was invited to celebrate my friend's milestone birthday in Rajasthan at a place called Nagaur. So I committed to being in Rajasthan for 24 hours, and it was the most unexpected experience for me. Because yes, we've seen pictures. Yes, we know it's all about the palaces. So I knew kind of what to expect. But what I didn't realize was how I would feel. So Nagaur is a 4th century fort, and a part of the fort has been converted into a hotel with just 26 havelis. But it's retained its... So when you look at pictures of this fort, it seems not so majestic. And it looks a lot like a lot of the other, old forts, deserted, not lived in anymore. It has retained a lot of its originality. But however, the pictures don't do it justice at all. Because when you enter that fort, there is something magical about it. There's something magnetic about it. And the fort at night is a sight to behold. It's beautiful. It's retained every part of its originality. It's well maintained. It's rustic. Of course, there's a pool which does not look like a modern day swimming pool. The decor is very in keeping with the authenticity of the fort. But it was such a joy to behold, and I fell in love. And apparently the previous night I missed the night which was magical, because that's when they had lit the Deepak Mahal in that fort with 1,000 lights, diyas, and they had live Sufi music play over there. So it was something that I did miss. But the one day that I was there, 24 hours that I was there, I made sure that I really capitalized on the time that I had, and I didn't end up wasting anything. But my point is not about my first visit to Rajasthan, although for me, it's a big one, and I think there's a lot to see, a lot to do in Rajasthan. I'm going to continue to go back. In today's episode, what I do want to share with you is about the celebration. And here are some things that I wanted to talk about. One being, we don't celebrate ourselves enough. And we must do that. And especially as women, we may celebrate our children. We may tend to plan events. Weddings are big in Indian families. But we don't celebrate the events, the wins, the achievements in our life enough. And, we shouldn't just wait for a milestone birthday. Of course, you should celebrate your milestone birthday. But there are many of us who hit a milestone year, and we can be very dismissive of it, right? It feels very selfish and frivolous to be celebrating it. And today, I just want to tell you that we all, as human beings, could celebrate a lot more. And you know what they say about celebration? Because when you're celebrating, you're also being grateful for what you have received. And the more you're grateful, the more things you have to be grateful for. So today's episode is about celebration, and my number one takeaway is celebrate everything in your life, and definitely celebrate the milestones in your life. And the second thing that I want to share is, when you plan an event, when you're marking a milestone, a birthday, a milestone anniversary, or you're planning something special, know that it's not just for you you're planning, but you're also making it an experience for your friends and family as well. they are also making memories alongside you. So make it an event that's an experience for everyone. My friend had organized this, lighting of these thousand diyas and having the Sufi night. And the next night was a bling night with Bollywood music because we all, and she herself loves Bollywood music, and I'm a huge Bollywood music fan. So we danced the night away, of course. But they are memories that I'll never forget. And also doing it at a location means that we always have special memories associated with that location. I will always remember that my first trip to Rajasthan and what those memories include. So remember, when you're planning a milestone birthday, when you're celebrating, it's also a memory that you're creating for your family, for your friends, and people who are part of the celebration. And this is something that I've not done well in the past, but when you're celebrating, make sure to take a lot of pictures because we forget to take pictures. There are some people who are perennial picture takers, and there's some people who just don't take any pictures. And then that moment is gone. And then you look back and you realize that you don't have enough pictures of all the people. So maybe get a photographer, maybe get somebody to be around to take those pictures as you create memories. My third one for you is to get a ton of pictures. My fourth one is traveling alone is an experience, but also is traveling together. If you have the right group of people who all get on with each other, it really opens up different facets of different people's lives and you really learn who they are. So traveling together helps you deepen your connections. Also know that sometimes travel can break relationships if they are not well rooted, well connected, if you're not mature, because some things about people become more exposed, more aware when you travel together. So yes, make it a point to travel once a year together, maybe with friends. Plan a group event. My number 5 for you is put yourself first and make your milestones count. Like I said, celebrate your life. Make sure that in that life, you're not just celebrating the milestones of the people that you love, people around you, but also you need to come first as well. I had a friend who recently told me that, hey, I throw big birthdays for my children and I also throw a big party for my birthday. That's definitely my kind of person because, they're not taking a back seat for themselves. Number 6 is to maximize your trip. You don't know when you're going to go back. For me, we landed in Jodhpur and we took a 2-hour cab drive to Nagaur. So the next day when I was heading back, I had consciously booked a late flight. And when I left Nagaur early in the sense, I left Nagaur by 11. I got to Jodhpur. I went straight to Mehrangarh Fort because it was my first time. And I wanted to see that fort. It has been on my bucket list, on my wish list for a while. And I did not want to leave from Jodhpur without seeing it, even if it was from a distance. But when I got there, it wasn't very crowded. It was a bit of a rainy weather. And I walked into the fort and I was taken in because while Nagaur it's a small fort, it's a 4th century small fort. It's not massive, it's not majestic. It's rustic and it's authentic and it's raw. Nagaur is all of that. But Mehrangarh is majestic, stunning. It can take you by surprise. The magnitude of the fort can take you by surprise. So both are different forts. So I didn't want to leave without having looked inside the fort. So I went in there, and because that was my intention, I had organized my cab and my flight in such a way that I would have at least a couple of hours. And I said, even if I get to see it for 30 minutes, I'm fine. But when I walked in, I got a ticket and there was a guide right there. And I said, hey, I can't do a 2-hour, 3-hour tour with you, but I can do a 30-minute, 45-minute tour. Can you show me the most important parts and can you walk me through? It was the best decision I made. And guides at all of these forts, if you haven't hired them, you should, because they have a lot of information to share. And this guide was so well informed, so educated. Of course, he's a guide, he should know, but he walked me through the fort. He took pictures for me. He explained and described so much for me. And in fact, I was wanting to rush. I was like, next one, let's go. But he slowed me down and I did a pretty detailed tour of the fort in 45 minutes, had a meal over there at the Fort Cafe. And then I headed, I wanted to pass through the Stepwell Cafe, so which I'd heard about, which is a step well. It's a step well. So I took my taxi, asked him to drive towards the step well. stood there, took a picture, managed to see a diver dive off right from the top into the into the well, and from there I took off. I went to the airport and left from there. So even though I just had 2-3 hours, I made sure that I was maximizing my trip, and I got to do some bucket list things. And I want to share pictures from that trip onto my Instagram. I haven't shared that yet, but that's something that I wanted to share in this episode. To travel well, to maximize your time, and do your research well in advance so you know where you're going to go. But more on travel later. I'm a huge travel buff and I have a lot of tips if that's something that interests you. But what I really wanted to leave you with was to celebrate your life. One life. There's a song that was being played, and the line from the song is "Ye ek zindagi kafi nahi hai," and I really believe so that have that zest for life, enjoy it and appreciate it, give gratitude and celebrate it. It's one life, so celebrate every win and every achievement. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope you liked what I had to share today. As always, if you enjoyed it, you know what to do. Leave me a rating. Thank you for listening to the podcast. If you like this episode and you want more, you can go to the show notes on my website, which is successwithsavitha.com/podcast. If you like what you've heard so far, I would be grateful to you if you could leave me a 5-star review, subscribe to this podcast, and share with a friend who may find this useful. You can also follow me on my Instagram @successwithsavitha and DM me any questions you may have, and I will be happy to answer them for you. Until the next episode, believe in yourself and all the best to your success.